Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So we had, been on hold for a couple of weeks. The reason being, I was not in town. I was out of town for professional meeting, professional training, to be precise. And I am back, and this stream will continue every Wednesday as promised, inshallah. So let's start the stream. I would like to recite a verse from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا صدق الله العلي العظيم صدق رسوله النبي الكريم وصدق مهدي موعود المبين كلام الحكيم. So the verse that I have recited, it says, the translation of a Sahih International says as follows: and keep yourself patient by being with those who call upon their Lord in the morning and in the evening, seeking His face, i.e., acceptance. And let not your eyes pass beyond them, desiring adornment of worldly life, and do not obey one whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, and who follows his desire, and whose affair is ever in neglect. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving instructions to people who read Quran, who want to follow Quran, who want to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's asking people to be among the people who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening. So this is basically asking you to be among the companions of the right people, righteous people, right? And in Qaum-e-Mahdavia, there is one fara'id, right, which we try to stick as much as possible, right? Or say at least we think, or say we strive to achieve that state. Right? So that state is sobat sadiqin, right? So companionship of righteous people, right? Morning and evening, what are they doing? They are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one of the sifat of the sadiqeen is that they would stay in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What would they seek while in remembrance? They seek paradise? No, it is mentioned they seek the face of Allah. Here the translator has put acceptance in bracket because that's what his understanding is. But the understanding of Qaum-e-Mahdavia is this, that the people who have desire to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His face. And let not your eyes pass beyond them, right? So if you find people who are in remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking the vision of Allah, be with them, right? Be among them. So don't let your eyes pass beyond them. And if you are passing your eyes beyond them, what exactly you would desire? So desiring the adornments of the worldly life, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you to stay in the companionship of truthful, or say sadiqeen, sobat sadiqeen, which is fara'id in Qaum-e-Mahdavia, which we believe to be one of the fara'id. And being in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you are among the people who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening, you also would sit in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. morning and evening. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you to be in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This remembrance. So one of the fara'id in Qaum-e-Mahdavia is this, that we are to, or say, every fard of Qaum-e-Mahdavia is to be in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the day. There is one famous saying, which I might have, said in the past as well. Sayyid Muhammad Jaunpuri Mahdi alayhi salam has reported to have said that, let your hands be in work, but let your heart be in the remembrance of Allah. So, doesn't matter whether we are working, whether you are not working, whether you are in house, you are laying down, whether you are standing, you are sitting, doesn't matter. So you constantly, your heart constantly remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, morning and evening, so you can translate the crux of it like this: seeking the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ones who are seeking the vision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We translate this as the people who have the desire to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the fard in Qaum-e-Mahdavia is that we seek the vision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Talabe didar khuda. Talab means thirst, didar means vision, khuda means in Persian Allah. Talabe didar khuda. And let not your eyes pass beyond them. Right? So don't neglect those who are in remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seeking His face. Right? What would you do if and all you are, what do you say? Your eyes pass beyond them? You would be seeking the worldly life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you not to. So one of the farad in Qaum-e-Mahdavia is that you are to sacrifice the world. There is something called tarke dunya. So basically it is tarke hubbe dunya, meaning you have to, or say the person who wills to get closer, or say achieve qurb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has to sacrifice the world for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Yeah. So these are some of the things that we have mentioned. One, sobat sadiqin. Then second, dhikrullah. Third, talab didar khuda. And fourth, tarke dunya. These are some of four, fara'id in Qaum-e-Mahdavia. There are other fara'id as well. So there are, some people say it is 8, some people say it is 7. So among 8 or among 7, these 4 are there. Yeah. So if you happen to look at the practices, even now we find people who practice these things. At least there are people who wish, strive to achieve the state. Okay. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do not obey the ones whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance. Right. So do not obey anyone whose heart is not inclined towards the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And who follows his desire, the person who follows his desire, and whose affair is ever neglected. So these days, it is widespread among everybody here, everybody who is listening, or say everybody out there. It is very common that we, take our phones, we see videos of people who are, either interested in making their masses, the followers, increase, subscription increase, right? Or the people who are trying to, win the debate, the discussion, right? So that is not the idea, right? So you are supposed to be in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly, right, throughout the day, whenever you are, senses come into place. So you are to be in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to be among the people, or say not to be among the people who obey the people whose heart is you know, heedless of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these people, right? So you would even find in the community, Muslim community, right? So you will find these kind of people, right? So who whose heart is not into the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather they just uh, you know point out why others are wrong, how others are wrong, right? But that is not the right way of giving dawah. So Dawa is supposed to be given by practice. You need to practice. Yeah. One has to practice. One has to find peace in it. One has to feel, the deen themselves. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants anyone among his environment to get guidance, he might send them to you to see how you practice, not to make you show how you practice. So there is difference, right? So Allah wants somebody to look at you and get what do you say, learn from looking at you. And Allah is making you heedless of the remembrance, and he he's allowing shaitan to uh, make you, or say, bring this boast inside your heart, which is taking you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are praying, you are in what is it, you are sitting uh, for prayer, you are doing what do you say, psalm, you are even doing hajj, right? You're even reciting Quran, but you're doing it for some other purposes rather than achieving the qurb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, you are uh, going against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, even a person who wants to practice has some challenges, right? But look at the teachings of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, Sayyid Muhammad Mahdi alayhi salam. So he says there are 7 or 8 fara'id. Follow them. You will be successful in this world and in the next. Right now, the frightening part is the next verse, which I'm about to read. بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقل الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر إنا أعتدنا للظالمين نارا أحاط بهم سرادقها فإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمحل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا صدق الله العلي العظيم. So the verse translated in English Sahih International says as follows: and say, the truth is from your Lord. So whoever wills, let him believe. Whoever wills, let him disbelieve. Indeed, we have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire whose walls will surround them. And if they call for relief, they will be relieved with water like murky oil, which scalds their faces. Wretched is the drink, and evil is the resting place. So, my dear brothers out there, we are Mahdawis, right? We believe that there was a person 500 to 600 years back by the name Sayyid Muhammad Jaunpuri, alayhi salam, whom we believe to be Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, right? So, what exactly do we believe about him? We believe him to be the Mahdi, right? The one about whom the promise was made. And there are, some of the prophecies in the Holy Quran as well about Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Not by name, but through signs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking. If somebody wants to know what exactly I'm talking about, one such would be uh, ayah number 17 of Surah Al-Hud, right? So you are welcome to read it, ponder about it, and then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you towards the truth. So those who are watching this, those who are watching this, either you want to follow Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, or you want to, question his truth claim. So those who are interested in, knowing more about him, you're welcome. Whatever I know, right, I will just, tell it to you the way I have understood. And if somebody wants to question, yeah, in an academic way, they're welcome. I have given the stream link, right? So in what do you say? I have pinned it over there. So please, pass it on to people who want to have a fruitful discussion. Either it is a person who has a doubt and is a Mahdavi, or a person who is not a Mahdavi and wants to understand what exactly Mahdavi says. And those who are, to mock, to criticize, to, ridicule, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, what do you say, be hafiz of the people who are truthful. And you are also welcome. Let's see, what argument, right, so are you bringing to against Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, the Khalifa of Allah. So some days back, I happened to, come across somebody. Right? I would not name because I don't want to, what do you say, defame anybody. So they were saying every single person on, what do you say, every single human being is mentioned as Khalifa in Quran. That is their misunderstanding. So they read verses from the Surah Al-Baqarah. Just let me read them. So meanwhile, if somebody is interested in, joining the stream, they are welcome. I think I missed the verse. So close to it. Just a moment. So it is Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 30. So when they read this verse, they understood it differently. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَائِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. So when I don't know what's the understanding, but when they read, they understood that every single human being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to this earth, or say sent down, is a Khalifa of Allah. Right? So irony is this, that they themselves are people who claim that the second, or say the second important source of learning deen is a hadith. And one of the hadith says that when someone was, after the demise of Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the demise of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, somebody came and told, or say praised Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, like Ya Khalifatullah. To which Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that, do not call me Khalifatullah, right? So call me Khalifatul Rasul. So he himself is not considering him to be Khalifatullah, and the person just to what do you say, bend rules a little bit to his favor, wants to call each and every person of this world Khalifatullah. So I don't think that is the right analysis. Basically, if you are believing in something which is not correct, you would try to bend the rules the way you want, and at the end you yourself would contradict your own belief. So basically, if you are not following the truth, you are following assumptions, and assumptions definitely do contradict with each other. So we'll wait now for people to show up, and let's have a fruitful discussion, right? So whoever is interested, pass this particular link which I have put it over here. Copy it and paste it to whomever you like. Let them join, let them ask questions, and inshallah, I'll try the best of mine to give answers to my knowledge. So meanwhile, the people, when people are trying to join, I would like to read Surah Al-Balad, which recently, inspired me. Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبد ويحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة. So صدق الله العلي العظيم. صدق رسوله النبي الكريم وصدق مهدي موعود بين كلام. So just that I have read, I would like to read the translation as well. So meanwhile, if somebody is joining, we'll take, and if after the translation is also nobody is joining, we will end the stream, uh, in 30 minutes. Yeah. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I swear by the city, right? And you are free of restrictions in this city, right? So La uqsimu bihadha al-balad means I swear by this city, right? Wa anta hillum bihadha al-balad, right? And you are free of the restrictions in the city. Wa walidum wa ma walad. To father and uh, the father that which was born to him. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. We have certainly created man into hardship. أَيَحْسَبُ أَن لَّن يَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ أَحَدٌ. Does he think that never will anyone overcome him? Right. So for somebody, is there having a little amount of idea in any field, any aspect, that nobody can surpass them? Asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you. يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالَ اللُّبَدِ. He says, I have spent, the person who is, having this idea, right? So nobody will overcome him. He would say, I have spent wealth in abundance, right? Maybe, the real wealth, or the wealth of knowledge, or wealth of anything, right? In abundance. أَيَحْسَبُ أَلَّمْ يَرَهُ أَحَدٌ. Does he think that no one has seen him, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, all the seeing, right? So does he think that he's gone unnoticed? No. Alam naj'al lahu aynayn. Have we not made for him two eyes? So his eyes are witness, right? So which will be, talking against him on the judgment day. Walisani wa shafatain. And a tongue with two lips. وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. And has shown him two ways, right? So one right way, obviously, another is, the wrong way. So, we can choose the right way or the wrong way. It's up to you. فَلَقْتَحَمَ الْعَقَبَةَ. And has he not broken through the difficult pass? So basically, have you not tried to, go through the steep learning curve? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ. What is this steep curve? What is this steep learning curve? What is a difficult pass which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about? He himself says, فَكُّ رَقَبَةٍ. It is freeing of slaves. أَوْ إِطْعَامٌ فِي يَوْمٍ ذِي مَسْغَبَةٍ. Or feeding on the day of severe hunger. The people who are needy, we feed them when they are hungry. يَتِيمًا ذَا مَقْرَبَةٍ. An orphan of near relationship. Yeah? Taking care of them. أَوْ مِسْكِينًا ذَا مَتْرَبَةٍ. Or a needy person in misery, you help them. Yeah? ثُمَّ كَانَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْمَرْحَمَةِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, then being among those who believed and advised one another to patience, and advised one another towards compassion, right? Ulaika ashabul maymana. Those are the people of companions of right. So the people who would be given their amal on their right hand. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِنَا هُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ. But those who believe, those who disbelieved in our signs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who disbelieved in our signs, those are the companions of the left. Mash'ama. Alayhim narum mu'sada. Over them will be fire closed in. So these translations, right? So these translations, you can ponder about it. Yeah. So the translations are not 100% of the real content. So real content, read it in Arabic, ponder about it, seek pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Try the best of yours to understand. And if you find what what is in front of you, that is Qaum-e-Mahdavia, or say the teachings of Qaum-e-Mahdavia, to be truthful, if you're already a believer, believe stronger, so that you go closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you are right now not one of the further of Qaum-e-Mahdavia, think about these things, right? So before you disbelieve is very easy. I say I do not believe. Disbelieve is easy, but believing is difficult. Now imagine a world where you have, to meet any of the Ma'mur min Allah. Let's say Musa alayhi salam or Isa alayhi salam. You happen to come across that time. So if you are, looking at the person and say, followers of Musa alayhi salam believe something which is not correct. That is the reason why I do not believe Musa alayhi salam. That is wrong analysis, right? So you have to see what Musa alayhi salam is doing. Is it in accordance with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it in accordance with the fitrah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, instilled in your mind? So understand, and then you have to, accept somebody to be truthful or somebody to be liar. Yeah. So even in the time of Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people would definitely not believe somebody would have visited seven heavens and seven earth in the night of Miraj. Nobody would have believed. Even when Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala was informed, information was given to him in a different way. The people who passed this information were very happy because they considered Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala to be a man of a reasoning, right? So they came to him and they asked, right? So would you believe somebody says that they have traveled seven earths and seven heavens, and met this, met that, and then they have returned within a jiffy? So to which Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala said, no, I would not believe such thing. So the person who was passing the information had this smile, right, in his face, and he said, yeah, then your prophet has said so. To which the reply is what we need. The reply came from Abu Bakr Siddiq. He said, if it is if it is prophet, that is, if it is Muhammadur Rasulullah, then it must be true. See, before somebody comes and says, this is what you believe, right? That is the reason why we do not believe, right? So what Imam Mahdi alayhi salam said in his life, right? Somebody say, no, I didn't find such and such thing in a hadith. That is the reason why I do not believe. So a person who is being sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have been sent for a purpose. The purpose which is missed, which is not found among the vast majority. That is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending Ma'mur min Allah, right? And if it is missing, how will you find in hadith? So people come and question, right? So if you are praying 2 rakat, Dugana Laylatul Qadr, you are wrong, people. No, that is not the right analysis. So it is same as that of somebody saying, Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he went to Miraj, and because he's saying he went to Miraj, I do not believe. So the kind of childish behavior you will be able to understand from there. So you have to first believe in the personality, or and then you would be able to understand why he said what he said. So just because he said something which you are not finding in what do you say, the sources that you have, doesn't mean the person is wrong. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to find truth, right, your foundations must be strong. Or say, the way you found others to be wrong, the same can't be used to prove you wrong. Yeah, right. Same can't be used to prove you wrong. For example, let's say there is somebody who is eating, uh, uh, some food, right? So some new food, right? And that is not good for his health, right? It is not good for his health because of XYZ reason, right? But the person who is passing this information is eating something else, which is also, contaminated by the same thing that he's trying to stop others from, right? So that is not the right way of analysis. So your foundation must be strong, must be unshattered. Only then the same approach you can use to show others that this is why you are wrong and you have to correct yourself. So while we were speaking, Zubair Bhai has joined. Assalamu alaikum, Zubair Bhai. How are you? Zubair Bhai, you are on stage.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Hope you are doing good as well.
To add to what we have you know, said here. You're welcome. Zubair Bhai, you are on mute.
Yeah, I didn't actually I didn't got what. Uh, could you please repeat one thing?
Just asking, do you have anything to add to what we said, right? What we were having discussion on. So I read a couple of verses. I told people to make research in the right direction, research in such a way that you yourself are not falling for the analysis that you are bringing forth. So these are the things that I mentioned. So if you have anything to put forth, so that people can get help from it, you're welcome.
There are many verses in Quran which when it comes to something called retrospection, right? Where,
Retrospect. Okay.
yeah. So where it teaches to what we have to actually put our brain in it. So let me share a couple of them, then we can proceed further.
Okay. So meanwhile, the people who are listening, or the people who have already got the link, so please pass it to the people who want to join, so that we can start the conversation. And if nobody's turning up, then we would end it in another 5 minutes. We'll wait for another 5 minutes. Okay. So meanwhile, let's see whether we can read verses from Quran and try to understand. Okay. Munawar Bhai has joined. Assalamu alaikum, Munawar Bhai. How are you?
Walaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you, brother?
I'm fine as well. It seems you are busy. You're not home.
Yeah. Not at home, yes. I just saw your message. How's your stream going on?
Until now, I was conveying a message that if somebody is trying to find truth, they themselves must be strong against the analysis they have, put forth against somebody, right? So they should not fall for the same traps that they have, made for others. That's the wrong
Yeah,
way of finding truth. So
true.
usually, what happens is when somebody is questioning, us, they would fall for the same kind of analysis. they would fall for same kind of traps that they are making. And if they are thinking that this is how they find truth, then really, it is a sorry state of theirs. So they should not be doing that. Rather, they should be, going deeper and understanding, why something is truth, and why it is not. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us something which we can use in order to find truth and, eliminate falsehood from it. So it is called as Quran. And one of the, what is it, attributes of it is Furqan. People do not use it, rather they use something else in order to, make a point which they themselves fall, if at all they are presenting their beliefs. Yeah. So that is the wrong, a way of analysis is what I said. So if you have any points related to it or any other thing you want to put, you're welcome.
Right. वो I hope I can speak in Urdu, right? I mean,
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. जो हक को पहचानने के लिए जो अमूमन कुरान में बार बार दावत दी गई है, उसके ताल्लुक से अक्सर आप देखे जाएंगे तो मामूर बिन अल्लाह हस्तियाँ जितनी भी आईं, उनसे कुछ बेजा मुतालबात हुआ करते थे हमेशा, हर ज़माने में. मिसाल के तौर पे कुछ करिश्मे, कुछ ऐसी बातें कि भाई फ्यूचर की बात बताए, या ख़जाना क्यों नहीं है तुम्हारे पास कोई फ़रिश्ता तुम्हारे साथ क्यों नहीं फिरता. यानी बहुत सारी उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स वो लोग जो है अल्लाह ताला पेश करता है कि ये हमेशा मामूर बिन अल्लाह हस्तियों के साथ ये सवाल हुआ. तो जा बजा जो है अल्लाह ताला जो हक़ को पहचानने की जो बातें बताता है लोगों को और दावत देता है इंसानियत को, उसमें चंद बातें जो मेरे जहन में अभी आ रही हैं वो ये है कि सबसे पहली चीज़ जो है अल्लाह ताला अपनी किताब के ताल्लुक से भी ये कहता है कि अगर ये किताब किसी गैर अल्लाह की तरफ से होती, अल्लाह की तरफ से नहीं होती, अल्लाह के सिवा किसी और की तरफ से होती, तो तुम इसमें इख्तिलाफन कसीरा पाते. तो यानी बहुत ज़्यादा इसके अंदर कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन पाते, तजाद पाते. तो हक में कभी भी तजाद नहीं होगा. एक हमारे लिए जो एक लम्हे फ़िक्र पूरी इंसानियत को है, और कभी भी आप देख लीजिए किसी भी इंसान से बात करें तो कहीं के भी इंसान से, तो उन्हें तजाद में जो है बातिल है बोलता उन्हें, अगर तजाद है किसी के अंदर. तो अब ये तजाद के कई पैरामीटर्स हैं. उसके अंदर ये है कि अल्लाह ताला जैसे एक जगह पे फरमाता है कि क्या तुम वो बात कहते हो जो खुद नहीं करते, तो ये भी एक किस्म का तजाद है. फिर उसके बाद में तजाद एक अलग अंदाज का तजाद ये है कि तुम बोल रहे हैं कि मैं पूरी की पूरी किताब को मानता हूँ. जैसे यहूदियों से अल्लाह ताला खिताब करते हुए बोलता है कि अफतुमिनुना बिबाज़िल किताब अफतकफुरुना बिबाज़, क्या तुम किताब का कुछ हिस्सा मानते हो और किताब का कुछ हिस्सा इनकार कर देते हो, उसका कुफ्र कर देते हो. तो तजाद की ये एक बात है. दूसरी जगहों पे जो मफहूम है आयतों का मैं बोलते जा रहा हूँ आपको कि अल्लाह ताला ये फरमाता है कि उसका मफहूम बोल रहा हूँ मैं, सब जने अपने अपने उसमें रिफ़र कर ले सकते हैं ये चीज़ें मतन में जाके, कि क्या तुम दूसरों के लिए वो चीज़ चाहते हो जो खुद के लिए नहीं चाहते, राइट. तो ऐसे यानी ये अकल को पुश करने वाले जो अल्लाह ताला के यानी क्वेश्चंस हैं अवामुन्नास से, मोमिनीन से, और ख़ास तौर पे जिनको किताब का हामिल बताया गया, जिनके पास जो है हिदायत आ गई, तो उनके लिए वाज़ेह है हक़ को पहचानने के जो पैरामीटर्स अल्लाह ताला सेट किए हैं. तो उसके तहत अगर हम एक चेकलिस्ट बनाएं किसी दिन बैठ के, अगर अपन इंटरनल वर्किंग होम वर्किंग करके किसी दिन चेकलिस्ट बनाएंगे कि भाई अल्लाह ताला जो है कौन सी आयत से हक़ की पहचान की तरफ हमारे को बुलाया है, राइट. तो जैसे अल्लाह ताला इंफाक के मामले में बोलता है तुम जो है ऐसी चीज़ खर्च करो जो तुम खुद पसंद करते हो. तुम्हारे को अगर वो चीज़ दे और तुम जो है वो चीज़ को लेना नहीं पसंद करते तो कैसा. तो बेसिकली अल्लाह ताला आपको इस बात की तरफ दावत दे रहा है कि तुम दूसरों के साथ ऐसा मामला करो जैसे कि तुम चाहते हो कि तुम्हारे साथ वो मामला हो. तो ये दुनिया का कौन सा भी इंसान सीख सकता, राइट, समझ सकता है इसको. तो अब जैसे अगर कोई कानून में ये बताए कि भाई हम तो जाएंगे और दीगर इस्लाम के लोगों, दीगर मज़ाहिब के लोगों को दावत देंगे, ठीक है, और अगर हमारे पास का कोई आदमी पलट गया तो हम उसको मार देंगे, तो ये तजाद है ना साहब. यानी आप अपने लिए एक रूल सेट कर रहे हैं और दूसरे के लिए अलग रूल सेट कर रहे हैं. यानी आप क्या कर रहे हैं, आप जा रहे हैं, आप बोल रहे हैं मैं गैर मुस्लिमों के पास जाके दावत देके मैं उनको मुसलमान करूंगा, ठीक है भाई, लोग आपको एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, अच्छी बात कर रहे हैं ना भाई, चलो आपको कबूल कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अब आप बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ बेटा आप तुम मुसलमान हो गए, अब तुम मुसलमान हो जाने के बाद में
छोड़ के
अब अगर दीन को छोड़ेंगे तो हम तुम्हारी गर्दन काटेंगे। तो
so that is
तजाद है ना साहब, यानी सामने वाला बोलता कि भाई ये जैसे वो पीके फिल्म
hypocrisy
में
है।
बोलता, देखो रॉन्ग नंबर बोल के बोलता है, ये रॉन्ग नंबर है बोलता है फिर, राइट।
True.
तो वैसे ही वो तमाम बातें जो आप आपके लिए चाह रहे हैं, आपके दीन में आप जो है अलाउंस रखना चाहिए। तो आपको एक चेकलिस्ट बनाएंगे अपन मुस्तफा भाई,
इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह।
अल्लाह के अहकामात के तहत अपन एक चेकलिस्ट बना के हक को पहचानने के अपन फलसफियों की बात नहीं करेंगे। अल्लाह ताला जो है हक को कैसा पहचानो बोला, अल्लाह ताला के आयात में क्या क्या चीज़ें आई हैं, उनको जो है लिस्ट डाउन करके एक दिन अपन देखेंगे कि मौजूदा जो आजकल लोग जो अपने आप को सुन्नतुल जमात वगैरह बोल के नाम नेहाद मुसलमान हैं, उनके पास अल्लाह के बताए हुए हक को पहुँचने और हक को पहचानने का जो पैरामीटर है, उसके खिलाफ में कितनी बातें अकायद और अमाल में उनके पास मौजूद हैं।
जी
राइट,
ट्रू।
मतलब भाई आप चाह रहे हैं कि खुद गुलाम नहीं बनना, लेकिन आप चाह रहे हैं कि दूसरे को गुलाम बना लेना,
Yeah.
राइट। गलत
So
है भाई।
just one thing I would like to add here for the people who are newly accepting Islam, right? So they have read Quran, they have the Quran has appealed to their minds, right? So they have accepted Quran, they have accepted the message of Islam, they have accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as their creator, they have accepted Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the messenger of Allah, right? So for them, it is very important to understand something. There are a lot of people who say apart from Quran you have to believe these things, apart from Quran you have to believe these other things that you have to believe, otherwise you will be among the disbelievers. So and they force few beliefs into you which contradicts with Quran, right? Which they force something into your mindset which is again contradicting the Quran. You have accepted Islam by reading Quran, and you are following something extra which is contradicting with Quran, which goes against the ruh of Quran. So you have to think about these things. So whenever you are reading anything, right, so you check it with the lens of Quran. So with the lens of Quran, see, this particular stream is all about finding truth. How do you find truth? You have a parameter which is Quran, right? So you use it to understand what is right and what is wrong. And most important part here is, right, so some people say the Quran is the final word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the same people say there are verses which are abrogated, right? And I would request each and everyone who has accepted Islam recently, or say they are reverts, please dig deep into this. There are verses which your sheikhs consider abrogated, right? So the ones which are now of no use these days. They say that. But when it comes to Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, he said, Quran is as if same as that of it is as in, what do you say, Loh Mahfuz. It is same. It is applicable throughout the time until the judgment day. So there are two different ways of looking into how what Quran is. One that which says it is ultimate truth, and some people say it is ultimate truth, but it has verses which are abrogated. So there's something which you need to think, and something which you need to ponder, so that even after accepting Islam, you do not fall into the traps of shayateen. Yes, Manohar bhai, you are saying something.
नहीं, देखिए अब आप कि अल्लाह ताला जो है ये जो मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम के वाक़े को पेश करके सूरह बकरा में जो बकरा नामी उसका उस वाक़े से रखा गया सूरह का कि गाय को कुर्बान करने का हुक्म दिया गया। अब देखिए, जब हुक्म आता अल्लाह ताला का तो आयत की शक्ल में आया होगा ना, तो ان کو آ گیا ہے حکم. ان کو چاہیے تھا کہ آیت کے اوپر سر تسلیم خم کرتے ہوئے اللہ کا جو حکم ہے وہ بجا لاتے. تو انہوں کیا کرے, اس کے اوپر کوشچنز کرے, یہ کیسا کرنا, وہ کیسا کرنا, اس کی تفصیل میں گئے پوری. تو اللہ تعالیٰ پہ پورا جو ہے, اللہ تعالیٰ کا نام ایک صبور ہے, رائٹ, اللہ تعالیٰ کے اندر ہی صبر ہے پورا. تو اللہ تعالیٰ صبر کے ساتھ ان کو پورے جواب دیے. لیکن اللہ تعالیٰ یہ واقعے کو لا کے ہمارے کو جو نصیحت دیے ہیں کہ ایک جگہ آگے جا کے بولے بھی ہیں اس واقعے کے بعد میں کہ تم ان لوگوں کی طرح مت ہو جانا, کیونکہ اللہ تعالیٰ جو ہے ان کو کنڈیم کرتے ہیں, بول رہے ہیں کہ لگتا نہیں تھا کہ وہ لوگ جو ہے گائے کو ذبح کرنے والے تھے. ان کی جو نیت تھی یہ سوالہ کرنے کی, کیونکہ بھائی اللہ کا حکم اگر کسی کو ہوا اس کے بندے کو ختم, انہیں بجا لانا ہے. وہ تفصیل میں جانا, اس کی مزید غیر ضروری, جس کو اسپلٹنگ آف ہیئر بولتے ہیں,
کمپلیکیٹ کر دینا,
رائٹ. اب آپ وہ جب دیکھیے اللہ تعالیٰ وہ حکمت کے ساتھ اس واقعے کو مسلمانوں کے سامنے رکھا ہے. اب مسلمان ابھی کیا کریں, بولے تو اللہ تعالیٰ کا احکام ہمارے لیے نہیں ہے بھائی, انف, وی نیڈ مور ڈیٹیلز بول رہے ہیں ان لوگ, ہمارے کو اور ڈیٹیلز ہونا. یہ ہم سمجھیے تو کیسا ہو جاتا, ہم تو گمراہ ہو جائیں گے, اللہ کے حکم کو ڈائریکٹ مان لیں گے. تو ہمارے کو اور اس کے بارے میں کچھ ہونا, یہ کیسا کرنا, وہ کیسا کرنا, دے آر میکنگ اٹ کمپلیکیٹڈ. تو آپ دیکھو اللہ تعالیٰ کا واضح پورا واقعہ بیان کر کے ہمارے کو سبق دینے کے باوجود بھی ہم اس کے, ہماری ایک جنرل مینٹالٹی لوگوں کی یہ ہو گئی ہے کہ اللہ کا ڈائریکٹ کمانڈ جو ہے نہیں سمجھ سکتے ہم. یہ ویسی بات ہے کہ اللہ گائے کو قربان کرو بولا تو ہم نہیں سمجھ سکتے کیسی ہونا کی نا ہمارے کو گائے, ہمارے کو رنگ کیسا ہونا کی, انہیں جوان ہونا کی, بڈھی ہونا کی, انہیں یوز میں آنے والی ہونا کی, یعنی جو ہے نان یوز تھیری بھی رہنے والی ہونا کی, مطلب ہمارے کو ہونا اور ڈیٹیلز ہونا چپ تو بھی. تو یہ ایٹریبیوٹ اللہ تعالیٰ کنڈیم کیا ہے قرآن میں.
And actually, Munawar bhai, the same thing, related to the same verses which you have, pointed towards. When they ask these questions, Musa alayhi salam is, angry, at the same time is answering what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking him to answer. So they complicated, the matter that much that they were not able to find that kind of a cow. Right, and it was only one available in that particular locality, and it was with some orphan, and they have to pay a hefty price to buy it. Right? So when they could have bought a cow at a normal price, and they could have sacrificed it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by asking questions they had to pay a hefty amount. So basically they were complicating the lives of themselves by asking questions.
رائٹ. اور دیکھیے حضور صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کے تعلق سے بھی جب یہ پوچھا گیا کہ حلال حرام کی تفصیل وغیرہ, تو اللہ کے رسول صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم واضح فرما دیے جو اللہ نے حرام کہا ہے قرآن میں وہ حرام ہے, جو اللہ نے حلال کہا ہے قرآن میں وہ حلال ہے. اس کے بعد میں اور تفصیل بیان کیے ہیں کہ جس پہ اللہ تعالیٰ جو ہے کچھ بیان کرتا ہوا نظر نہیں آیا ہے اس کو معاف ہے بول کے کچھ ایسا بولے, یعنی ایکسکیوز. تو اللہ تعالیٰ اپنی حکمت کی بنا پہ, اتنی بڑی دنیا ہے, ڈفرینٹ لوگوں کے انوائرمنٹس ہیں, لوگوں کے نیڈز ہیں, اس کے حساب سے اللہ تعالیٰ جن چیز کو پرماننٹلی پروہیبٹ کرنا ہے کر دیا ہے, جس کو جو ہے پرماننٹلی حلال کر دینا ہے حلال کر دیا ہے. اس کے بعد میں جن چیزوں پہ اللہ تعالیٰ خود نہیں بولا ہے, دیٹ گوز انڈر دی وزڈم. انسان اپنے حالات اور اپنے معاملات کے اعتبار سے ان چیزوں کو جیسا یوز کرنا ہے کر لیں گا.
صحیح بات.
اس میں کوئی ہمارے کو پیرالل لائن ڈرا کرنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے کہ نہیں وہ بھی حلال وہ بھی حرام, وہ ایسا ہے وہ ویسا ہے, نہیں ہے ہمارے کو ضرورت. اسی لیے اللہ تعالیٰ
and something which is halal also, and somebody is not having the fear of God and is doing it, and still it is unacceptable in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? For example, Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is reported to have said, right, if something is taking you away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is haram. Yeah.
राइट.
So
वो एक नकल मुबारक है ना मेहदी अलैहिस्सलाम की कि कसब हराम बोलते हैं आप बोल के उलमाए उस जमाने के उलमा आके सवाल करे तो माउद फरमाए कि अल्लाह ने कसब को हलाल किया है, बंदा कैसे हराम करेगा? अल्लाह ने जिसको हलाल किया है बंदा कैसे हराम करेगा? कसब की इजाजत है, कसब की इजाजत है बंदे को, लेकिन अगर कोई शख्स कसब ना भी करे और पूरी जिंदगी चिल्ले रियाजतें फख्र फाका बरहनगी भूख प्यास रखे, लेकिन इसके पीछे उसका मकसद अगर दुनिया है तो दोजख में जाएगा बोले.
So
यानी
that
पूरे
is
काम
again
करना उन्हें.
to matter to remember, right? So we
हाँ
have a straight path, like as you said. Now there are lawful things, there are prohibited things, and when we come across something which is not mentioned in Quran, we have to at least follow taqwa, right? So we have to follow the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make us understand based on the environment, based on our understanding at that particular point of time, whatever is correct and whatever is right.
Right.
So if at all we are doing, having fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that won't be questioned to us in the hereafter.
Yeah.
So
अब जैसे एक बुजुर्ग का वाकया मेहदी अलैहिस्सलाम के सामने पेश किया गया कि उन्होंने जो है कई साल खरबूजा नहीं खाए, उनको उनका नफ्स का डाउट दिखा तो उन्होंने खरबूजा नहीं खाए. ये औलिया अल्लाह के किताबों के वाकयात वगैरह मशहूर थे. तो मेहदी अलैहिस्सलाम फरमाए कि जो है अल्लाह ने दिया था तो खा लेना था, इतने साल जो है खरबूजे में क्यों अपनी जान को अटका के रखे आप? भाई मैं नहीं खाया, मैं नहीं खाया, मैं नहीं खाया बोले तो भी ये एक अननेसेसरी आपके लिए डिविएशन है ना अल्लाह की याद से. मैं इतने साल हो गए नहीं खाया, मैं इतने साल हो गए नहीं, अल्लाह दिया था, हलाल था, खा लेना था. तो बहुत सुप्रीम है भाई तालीमात तो मेहदी मौऊद अलैहिस्सलाम के, यानी सदका है हजरत का जो हम तमाम महदवियों को जो है मुफ्त में मिल गया है, और हमारी जिम्मेदारी है कि हम ये तमाम चीज़ों को सही अंदाज में लोगों के तक पहुंचाएं अपने अमल से पहले तो, क्योंकि अगर हम सिर्फ बात करेंगे और अमल नहीं करेंगे बोले तो मसला हो जाएगा.
Again we are going against the rule of Quran, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking,
अल्लाह ताला फरमा रहा
why do you
है
preach?
अल्लाह के नजदीक बहुत नफरत की चीज है ये कि तुम वो बात कहना जो खुद नहीं करते. तो जितना हम अमल कर रहे हैं एटलीस्ट उतनी तो बात करें. और चूंकि ऐसा माहौल हो गया है कि हक को नाहक बताने की जिद में लोग जो है अननेसेसरी हमारे असलाफ को यानी तख्ते मश्क बनाए हुए हैं, तो हमारे को लाजिमन क्या होता, उन्होंने ऐसा करे हैं और हक बात अमाल और अकायद के एतबार से ये है बोल के पेश कर देना पड़ता. अगरचे कि हो सकता हम उन चीज़ों पे खुद अमल पैरा नहीं होंगे उतनी हद तक, लेकिन चूंकि अमाल और अकायद के ऊपर हमले हो रहे हैं कि ये गलत है, ये गलत है, तो वो कॉन्सेप्ट को क्लियर करने के वास्ते हमारे को बात करना पड़ रहा.
True.
इसीलिए जो है कौम-ए-महदविया में जो तबलीग वगैरह के ताल्लुक से लोग जब तक के अमल पैरा नहीं हुए तबलीग वगैरह की नहीं सोचे, क्योंकि ये अल्लाह का सरी फरमान है कि जो है जब तक के तुम खुद अमल नहीं करते तो जैसा जैसा इनेतात का दौर आया तो तबलीग वगैरह भी वैसी कम हुई. ये ईमानदारी है कौम-ए-महदविया की. हम जो है उन लोगों की तरह जाली लोगों की तरह नहीं है कि अमल करो नको करो लोगों को बोलते जाएंगे, वैसा नहीं है. इतने इनेतात के दौर में भी हमारी ईमानदारी है कि हम किसी को जो है जब तक के जो अमल नहीं करते उस पर बात ही नहीं करते, कोशिश करते हैं भाई.
सही बात. So Sayyid Zubair Saab has to share something. Yes, Zubair Saab, please.
हाँ जी, इसमें साफ तौर पर लिखा गया है, इसमें अशम्स में अल्लाह ने साफ तौर पर मेंशन कर दिया है कि ये सब जो बुराई की जड़ है ये खुद का नफ्स है. यहाँ पर अशम्स में सातवीं जो आयत है, अल्लाह से कह रहा है कि पर एंड द वेरी सोल एंड द वन हु फैशनड इट. सो अपने इस नफ्स के बारे में कहता है कि इसको हमने नॉलेज से ब्लेस भी किया है, राइट और रॉन्ग की समझ भी दी है, और उसी के नीचे कहता है कि जो भी है इसको कामयाब बनाना चाहता है इसको प्यूरिफाई करना पड़ता है इसको. और इसी के नीचे अल्लाह कह रहा है कि इसको जब इसको फेल्यूर करना पड़ता है, इसको वो क्या करता है, उसको करप्ट करना शुरू कर देता है. इससे
doomed is the one who corrupts it, जो नफ्स को अपनी करप्ट करता है.
जो अपने आप को जो
Subhanallah.
ओन सेल्फ होता है उसको करेक्ट करना शुरू करता है। तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि इंसान में जब अना आ जाती है तो उसको सही और गलत की पहचान नहीं होती, और इसी में उसको अपना जो जो भी उसने बना बना रखा है, जो भी उसका सेट बना रखा है, जो वॉट एवर इट मे बी, लाइक Al Hadith, whatever it may be, I am not going to specify,
Mention the
but
name. Yeah, true.
yeah, but here they are all blinded by their own self. Actually, their nafs is so occupied they are not able to see the
Beyond that.
it's तो पर्दा पड़ गया उनकी आंखों पर, उनका जो नफ्स है उनको पूरी तरह से उनको अंधा कर चुका है। इसलिए when they are not able to understand what they are actually, you know, pursuing,
Pursuing.
वो इतने अंधे हो चुके हैं कि उनको सही और गलत की पहचान ही नहीं है आजकल।
Chan.
तो
True.
अब वो क्या करना, अब सामने वाले को साफ पाक पानी है, ठहरा हुआ पानी है, तो खतर मार के देखना, उसको पिलाना, उसको पिलाकर उसको उसको गंदा करने की कोशिश करना। दिस इज व्हाट्स हैपनिंग राइट नाउ।
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just got something, but skipped my mind. When people read Quran, right? So whenever people read Quran, right, they have one idea that they want to disprove this book, right? So there are a lot of people who are interested in showing the Muslims in bad light, Islam in bad light, Quran in bad light. So when they start reading, they would try to find something different altogether. When a Muslim is reading, he finds something else, right? So from this itself, we can understand that if your intentions are bad, if you have intention to ridicule somebody, if you have intentions to put somebody in a bad light, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put parda, or say veil on your heart. You will not be able to understand what exactly is to be done and what exactly not to be done, right? So if you are reading any book, the same book, let's say for example, you are quoting a book that that belongs to Qaum-e-Mahdavia, and say this particular thing is written in your books, what do you have to say about it? The same book we read, and we do not get the content that you have derived. So your derivation of the same book or the same content is different than what we have derived, and what we have derived is in accordance with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in accordance with Quran, and we are believing in it. And you, just because you want to ridicule us, just because you want to mock us, you are saying no, you are believing in something else. It is we who is supposed to say what we believe, not you, right? So the books that we read, what we interpret from it is what you have to present, not what you understood from those verses, right? So that is that is something that I wanted to share. So anyways, we have promised for 1 hour. 1 hour is over. Nobody came to learn from us. That's fine, but at least something we have discussed, which will help people understand what is to do, what is not to do, how to find truth based on Allah subhanahu, based on how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to find truth. Zubair bhai, if you have anything to add, please do, and then we would end this stream.
एक शेर है अल्लामा इकबाल का, सॉरी मिर्जा गालिब का। ही सेज, उम्र भर गालिब ये ही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पर थी और आईना साफ करता रहा। Means all your life, oh Ghalib, you repeated the same mistake. Your face was dirty, but you kept
Wiping the mirror.
in the mirror.
Subhanallah. Okay. So people are not concentrating on the right part, rather on something else which is not serving the purpose.
मैं थोड़ा
Yes,
सा
Munawar.
मिस करा जुबैर भाई की बात जो हुई, लेकिन मैं समझा वही कि नफ्स के तज़किये के ताल्लुक से क़द अफ़लाह मन ज़क्काहा वगैरह की आयत मेरे ख्याल से डिस्कशन में थी वो। तो जुबैर भाई और मुस्तफ़ा भाई, अल्लाह ताला जो है अक्सर बग़ियम बैनहुम का भी इस्तेमाल करे हैं कुरान में, کہ علم آ جانے کے بعد آپس کی ضد کی وجہ سے لوگ حق کو قبول نہیں کرتے، فرمایا اللہ تعالیٰ.
True.
یعنی واضح کلیئر ہو گیا، لیکن اب چونکہ میرے کو مصطفیٰ بھائی سے کوئی پرابلم ہے، اب مصطفیٰ بھائی وہ بات کر رہے ہیں تو میں اس کو قبول نہیں کر رہا ہوں آپس کی ضد کی وجہ سے.
ضد کی وجہ سے.
ہاں، تو ایک مسلمان اور مومن کا کیریکٹر ایسا ہے کہ جیسا بولا جاتا ہے کہ وزڈم از مومنس مسلم's lost treasure, wherever he finds it he acquires it. تو جہاں کہیں بھی وزڈم کی بات ہونی چاہیے، وہ اس کا وارث اپنے آپ کو جانتے ہوئے چاہے کس کے بھی منہ سے نکلو بات، اس کو قبول کرنے کا مادہ انسان کے اندر جب رہیں گا تو انہیں
تو
جو
انہیں
ہے
حق کی
ہر
پہچان
دن
کر پائیں گے
ترقی کریں گا انہیں.
انشاءاللہ ضرور.
ہاں،
زبردست.
میں یہ سوچوں گا کہ بھائی میں سلیکٹ فیو سے لوں گا بات، اور دوسری جگہ سے میرے کو وزڈم دکھو، کچھ دکھو، میں اپنے آنکھ پہ پٹی ڈال لوں گا. بولے مشہور ہے کہ دیوار پہ لکھی ہوئی
True.
بات کو بھی قبول کرنا چاہیے. تو دیوار کی نہ کوئی پرسنالٹی رہتی، نہ کوئی مذہب رہتا، نہ کوئی ریلیجن رہتا. بھائی کاغذ پہ لکھی ہوئی رہتی بات. کاغذ کیا مسلمان رہتا، کیا ہندو رہتا، کیا انہیں مہدوی رہتا، غیر مہدوی رہتا، کچھ بھی نہیں رہتا، کاغذ رہتی بات، وہ کاغذ. تو ایک نان لیونگ تھنگ پہ بھی کوئی بات سچی لکھی ہوئی ہے تو اس کو قبول کرنا
Accept
ہے.
it. Doesn't matter who has written it, who
ہاں
authored it, کہاں پہ پبلش ہوا، کہاں پہ پرنٹ ہوا،
بس
کس کے ہاتھ سے ملا. Doesn't matter. So we have to
بات صحیح ہے،
accept.
قبول کرنا چاہیے. بات غلط ہے چاہے کس کے بھی نام سے بولو،
صحیح
کس
بات.
کے بھی نام سے بول لو، آپ نہیں قبول کرنا چاہیے.
One incident happened in my life recently, right? So there was somebody who wanted to have a discussion about what is it, haqqaniyat of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. The point they wanted to keep as the central issue is that Dugana, 2 rakats farz of Dugana. So we had a discussion for half an hour. Then I asked a simple question to them. Fine, you are expecting certain a hadith that would support what Imam Mahdi alayhi salam has done. Let me try to find it. Okay, so when I'm trying to find it, just want to know one thing from you. If you are just confused because of this one point, if I happen to find a hadith which is supporting the argument or supporting Imam Mahdi alayhi salam's claim, would you believe in Imam Mahdi alayhi salam? He said no. Then what is the point of having the discussion if you are keeping that to be a central point? That to be a central point. That is the major impact. That is having a major impact in your life. And you are saying just because of this I have rejected. Then if I happen to find something which is supporting it, you should accept it back, right? No, he says no, I will not accept. There are multiple things.
اور بھائی آپ کے پلیٹ فارم کے ذریعے سے میں ایک بات کرنا چاہوں گا اپنے تمام مہدوی مبلغین کو کہ مہدی موعود علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام کے تبلیغ کے انداز پہ مہدویت کی تبلیغ ہونی چاہیے. بھائی ہم وہ پیناکل انریچیبل پیناکل ہے اس کو ہم حاصل نہیں کر سکتے، لیکن آپ کی اتباع کی کوشش کرتے ہوئے اس پیمانے ان پیرامیٹرز پہ تبلیغ ہونی چاہیے. مثال کے طور پہ مہدی موعود علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام نے سلاطین کو خط لکھا، یعنی اس ٹائم کے جو بادشاہ کنگ وغیرہ تھے ان کو خط لکھا تبلیغ کے لیے. مہدی موعود علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام کے 3 دعوے موقع جو ہے مشہور ہیں، بہت مکے کا اور ادھر ہندوستان کے اور ادھر کا ہے، رائٹ؟ تو 3 جگہوں کے آپ کے دعوے مشہور ہیں. وہاں کے جو اسٹیٹمنٹس تھے آپ کے، ان اسٹیٹمنٹس کو ہمارے کو لفظ با لفظ دیکھنا چاہیے جو ہمارے پاس آیا ہے ان باتوں پہ. پھر اس کے بعد میں آپ جہاں پر بھی جاتے، جامع مسجد وغیرہ میں آپ قیام کرتے اور بیان قرآن کرتے اور لوگ آ کے سوال اور جوابوں کا سیشن ہوتا تو آپ تھکتے نہیں. ان کے جہاں نچلی سطح تک بھی جا کے ان کے سوالوں کے جوابوں کو دیتے. اور پھر اس کے بعد اگر کوئی تذبذب کا پیش کرتا کہ بھائی میں آپ کے باتوں سے تو مطمئن ہوں لیکن آپ کا جو یہ کلیم ہے کہ میں مہدی موعود ہوں میرے کو قبول نہیں ہو رہا، بولے تو اس کو دھتکارتے نہیں، اس کو بولتے کہ اللہ کے حکم کے تحت جو میں باتیں بول رہا ہوں عمل کرنے کے لیے ان پہ عمل کرو. اللہ تعالیٰ اگر ضروری سمجھے گا तो तुम्हारे को जो है वाजे कर देंगे ये बात कि बंदा
सुभान
मेहदी
अल्लाह,
माऊद है। तो
सुभान अल्लाह।
ये जो एक स्ट्रक्चर मेहदी माऊद अलैहिस्सलाम तबलीग का दिए हैं, उस तबलीग के स्ट्रक्चर पे हमारे को दीन की जो है महदवियत की या असल इस्लाम की जो है तबलीग
जरूर
करना
जरूर,
चाहिए।
inshallah, inshallah. So if and
हाँ
all we are not doing it right way, definitely we can support each other in order to understand how it exactly to be done. Inshallah, the right way is the right way, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it to us, and it is being passed from prophets to prophets, and we have Imam Hadi alayhi salam, who has shown us the path that we need to walk. And definitely we do also have few things which are associated with him, which he never mentioned, and these things are very common. And just because those things exist doesn't mean that the personality is wrong. A similar kind of thing can be told about any person, right? So about Lut alayhi salam, so many bad things are written in Bible about.
भाई, क्लासिकल एग्जाम्पल ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम है। लोग उनकी परस्तिश कर रहे हैं, उनकी वालदा की परस्तिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन कुरान में उनकी गवाही मौजूद है जो क़यामत में उन्हें देने वाले हैं। वाज़ेह है बात। तो किसी के साथ कोई चीज़ मंसूब कर देने से वो बात उनकी होना ज़रूरी नहीं है। रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के ताल्लुक से ऐसी बातें मंसूब किए हुए हैं जिसका इस्तेमाल करके गैर इस्लामी लोग जो हमारे
Your audio has gone. So we have spent 1 hour time, and we have understood few things. We have read verses of Quran, right? We have seen a lot of things, right? And the people who are listening to this right now, pass this particular video to the people whom you think this can be beneficial, whom you think are having little amount of doubt, that next time they can come and ask us questions. So with this, Manor bhai, you have anything to add, or shall we wind it up? Your audio is on mute. Your audio is on mute. Your audio is on mute. I think still your voice is not audible. Zubair bhai, can you hear what he's saying?
No.
There is some kind of issue, Manor bhai. No problem. So no issues. We will wind up now. Next stream will be again a Wednesday, 9 p.m. Inshallah. So until then, try the best of yours to read Quran. Try the best of yours to understand what exactly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, right? Personally telling you, so that you can find truth in whatever comes across in your life. So with this message, I would like to thank everybody who has there with us, and who would be watching this video later. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.